Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Jeb. Well, over the weekend, I completed quite a few things. I ended up getting the Obsidian collie sticks. Clearly, I mean, there's really not going to be a difference. It's literally just an obsidian stick. I don't know. Honestly, anybody that ever went for this, they didn't really know what they were expecting, but they knew exactly what they were getting. There's no other way to describe that. You guys hear that thunder? Alright, so yesterday I ended up just, you know, taking the day off or whatever, trying to take a little bit of a break. This is just, it's been such a long grind that even saying that I'm taking breaks and stuff like that, and I'm still as tired as I am, I can't wait for this to be over. I really can't. So I'm really trying my best to just grind through it. I mean, when I scroll through all my classes, everything is Obsidian, dude. Like, just everything. Currently, I am finishing out the last two shotguns here. It's the R90 and then the VLK Rogue. All of the secondary items in the game are now done. All the pistols, all the melee stuff, all of that stuff. I finished out the SKS as well, so it's all the marksman rifles, sniper rifles. Only one of the LMGs are actually done. The shotguns are about to be all done. With shipment anyway, hardcore shipment, I can finish about at least 2 guns a day if I just like hard grind and not worry about anything. Oh, so also speaking of sniper rifles, there apparently was a new sniper rifle that was leaked again. Running around it with a shotgun in hardcore, everybody knows, is pretty... It's just brain dead, honestly. This whole thing, what's difficult about this isn't so much just doing well, it's just trying to keep your sanity while still being efficient. Like, honestly, it's getting to the point where, you know, after you play it so much and you expect yourself to be efficient at things, I'm not willing to accept many other games besides, what, 100 pluses? Apparently, according to some leakers, I'm not entirely sure the name, I'm sorry, but somebody ended up finding some sort of file for, you know, the usual stuff whenever they're data mining or whatever. We're used to seeing it in a certain way where basically you end up seeing, like, kind of little pieces of information for new things that are coming to the game, and then you end up seeing some names, you see some files, you see some textures, you see some attachment names or stuff like that. Apparently, according to one of those people that, you know, regularly data mine or whatever, they ended up uncovering that there's going to be a Remington 700, or the R700 from Call of Duty 4. I think that was the last time that we've had an R700. Now, given you guys already know I don't know anything about guns or whatever, we were thinking that, you know, the Barrett 50 cal was going to end up being, like, just specifically a, you know, weird scoped rocket launcher. We were always worried about, you know, the conversion kits, or what kind of ammo are we actually going to use, what kind of role is it actually gonna, you know, serve? The R700, I'm actually having a hard time trying to imagine, like, I don't know if there are, like, different versions of the R700, like, in the world. Kind of like how the, you know, Barrett 50 cal has, like, that XM whatever version of it. I don't know. I don't really care about the name so long as it, you know, plays well. I really don't care what it is. So in those files, there is a thing called the Remington 700, or the R700, or whatever. I'm not entirely sure what the exact file name it is, but it closely references that. Now, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be the name overall when it finally comes out and stuff, but if it's the R700 and works anything like the one from COD 4, the R700 was basically the worst version of the M40. Now, that obviously doesn't mean that when it comes to this game, it has to be like that weapon. We've seen this before, great and not so great iterations of weapons that are low. For example, the Intervention was seen as like this god tier Modern Warfare 2 weapon, and then when it came to Infinite Warfare, the thing was kind of a hit marker machine. It was good, but it was a lot less consistent than it used to be. All I'm saying is, whenever you have this idea of, like, the older weapons in these games and stuff, they're not necessarily gonna act the exact, you know, same way. But if it is an actual bolt-action rifle that is fed through single, kind of like a, you know, the Car 98 or whatever, I'm curious if they're gonna leave it as a bolt-action rifle, if it stays a bolt-action rifle, or if there's a different version of it that they would consider a marksman rifle or something. I have no idea how weapons... I don't get involved with this dangerous shit. But if the R700 actually does come to the game and it works anything like how it did before, where you could, like, do single reloads to it, get the, you know, fast ADS speed, be very consistent, probably in, like, you know, the upper slash, like, middle of the stomach area. I'm pretty sure the only sniper rifle that actually one hits to, like, the stomach and stuff, from most ranges anyway, is just HDR and AX50. I don't know if they're gonna give it that kind of damage profile, or if they're gonna kind of keep it, like, maybe a slightly stronger, yet slightly slower Car 98. That's what I'm thinking anyway along those lines. Instead of reloading like full-blown magazines, it's just a bullet. The really nice thing about reloading single bullets is that you technically never really run out of ammo. Now, given if the ammo and the reload and stuff like that is crazy slow at reloading or whatever, it's likely going to end up being a weapon that needs sleight of hand. Everybody knows how great it felt back on, you know, hardcore COD 4 and stuff like that. Having the sleight of hand for, you know, your M40 and R700 was beautiful. The R700 was considered worse than the M40 in every way, shape, and form. It didn't have as much consistent damage. I don't think you got the extra damage from having ACOG on. There's a weird little bug that happened back on COD 4. You would do more damage with ACOG on. I don't think the R700 benefited from like weird little things like that, so the R700 was always less popular. But back when I played Modern Warfare Remastered though, I loved having, you know, Exclusion Zone on that R700. It was one of, if not the best looking weapon with Exclusion Zone on it. Got that 8 multi back-to-back quad feeds right there. The shotguns on Shipment are literally, if I move my headset right now, at least a pound of brain matter is going to fall onto my lap. This is all I've been doing all day. Every single day I just do this. Yeah, I'll take some breaks and stuff like that for my own sanity and stuff. Couple hours of break and then I'm, you know, come back on or whatever. Today, this thing will be finished out easily. It's at 90 out of 150. The hardest thing is when I get to the ARs and they're all like 200. I have to have 200 games of doing this kind of stuff. Now, given, I mean, I know that the ARs are god tier and stuff, but by the time I make it to all of the ARs and stuff, I'm telling you, probably even tomorrow, this playlist is gonna be gone. Given they did update it about a day and a half or 2 days, they usually would have touched their playlist, so maybe it'll stay. I don't know. I honestly wish that they would just at least, at the very least, leave Shipment 24/7 in its own separate playlist. Just leave it there permanently. I know that you guys don't want people to make progress or whatever it is, but clearly Warzone is your moneymaker here. What is the downside to allowing people to actually level up here and then just go to Warzone anyway? What about the people that don't even go to Warzone and they're just looking to do this kind of dumb stuff like I am? So sorry for this. I haven't done that in a really long time. Listen, it's Shipment. People have done it to me. As much as I miss the really good tactical insertions, I don't miss dying at least an extra, you know, 50 to 100 times just by being spawn killed off. So, I mean, there's that at least. Oh, and also there was a big, you know, change with the main event for UFC 251, where they also are going to be announcing UFC 4. It's funny, too, because there are people that are replying to the tweet. They're going down to the bottom of the poster or whatever that I showed before, and they're like, this is the extra main event. There are other people that are excited with us now, given, I mean, we're likely just going to get UFC 3 with an updated roster. That's honestly, that's what I'm expecting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping that I'll be able to recreate Requise in that way, so that's part of what I'm being hopeful for, that we're still gonna have similar models and stuff. Just updated graphics, textures, move sets, new kind of like, you know, campaign type mode. Obviously, when that comes out, I'm definitely gonna be doing a Requise series. I mean, it might be exhausting, it might be loud, it might not be every single day, but I'm definitely gonna do it. If it's anything like all the other EA stuff, whenever they update their FIFA and Madden and all this, I bought multiple years of Madden and FIFA. Some things change, but not that much. You know what I mean? Coming from a Call of Duty player, you know, I'm used to this, down this alley, you know, I'm here with you guys. I know what I'm getting into. Gilbert Burns ended up testing positive, so he didn't pass his test to be able to actually have this fight safely, you know, under all the precautions and stuff like that. So Masvidal ended up actually getting the title shot, which is funny because originally he was supposed to be the one that was negotiating, and then they didn't want to pay him, and so they gave the fight to Gilbert. But then Gilbert got sick, and now Masvidal was able to strong arm, you know, all this cash and stuff, be able to save the card. So they put the UFC in a pretty bad position, but honestly, and I mean, it's gonna be a good fight regardless, so maybe over time I'll look a bit more, but like in my head, initially looking at this fight, I feel like this is a much easier fight for Kamaru than the Gilbert fight was. I can see so many ways that Gilbert could have won because he just seems like such a well-rounded, you know, fighter or whatever. And it's not to take anything away from Masvidal or anything like that. The dude, striking wise, is much more dangerous, but Gilbert has a lot more, you know, weapons and stuff, so I just had like a lot more ideas. The only thing that I could see Masvidal actually doing is just tearing, you know, Usman up on the feet, but that to me just screams that Usman is just gonna, you know, passionately wrestle him to death for 5 rounds. That's what I expect anyway. I'm expecting Usman to basically strike with him for a little bit. He might start, you know, losing some of the exchanges and stuff, get a little uncomfortable, and then start wrestling, and then I don't think Masvidal is gonna have much of an answer for it. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. Maybe I can watch more fights, maybe I can get a bit more of a, you know, a better feeling or whatever. Me, whenever I look at Usman and just remember what he did to Tyron, it really surprised me to see him wrestle the way that he did to Woodley. So, I don't know, man. If he's able to do that to that many decorated physical specimen wrestlers, I just don't see Masvidal being able to actually defend that. He might be able to strike. He might be able to hurt him. I'm not saying he has no chance, but I feel like the only chance he has is through knockout. I just don't think he's going to be able to compete with the wrestling. He might be able to maybe hurt him enough. Maybe he's going to attack his legs or whatever to try to take away his wrestling base, his movement, is something. I don't know. I guarantee you Usman will do the same thing. He'll likely attack his legs. Make him think about a whole bunch of stuff. Slow his striking down. Then all that's left, if you take both of their strikings away, who still has the upper hand? Usman. If he's not striking, he'll wrestle. And it's not like he's just gonna lay on you. He will punch you. A lot. It's gonna be mean, man. And it's also, there's no crowd, so you're gonna be able to hear this stuff, and the dude's talking about how he's gonna make him squeal like a pig. It's good stuff. There's thunder outside. I really should. If this power goes out, I'm going to be so heartbroken and annoyed. So just thank you guys so much for all the love and support on all the videos, all the subscribers and stuff. Just thank you guys for that. Oh, we got a cheater. I didn't even notice. That's definitely my cue to hit stop recording.